Okay, favorite topic yet. How good are you at living in the mystery? Have you mastered living in the mystery? Let's see. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But if you have, that means that you don't need to be in control. It means that you don't care if your life is sometimes unpredictable. And it means that you love it when things that are, and it happens a lot if you're mastering the mystery, where results that transcend what you intend, they're even better than what you intended, show up in a regular way, but it means you gotta transcend control. So, welcome everybody. It's great to be here with you. Jeannie, so glad to be hanging again.
Thanks for having me. So happy to be with you. My God, why is my voice like that?
I don't know.
That's copying.
So so guys, so today is like my favorite all-time topic, which is mastering the mystery. It's really about the ability to flow. The ability to flow with uncertainty, having an expectation of something even better than what you imagine actually arrive. It means that you feel always well resourced and you are receptive to transcendent results rather than waiting for the results and trying to control the results so that they're what you expect so that you don't freak out. So I'm just wondering in the chat, I would love to hear who feels like you're like in love with the mystery. I always bring this quote up that came to me about, I don't know, 6 years ago. And it goes something like this. Your love affair with the unknown will transcend your need for courage. So, but I realize it's not just your love affair with the unknown, it's your ability to navigate the unknown will transcend your mastery of navigating the unknown, will transcend your need for courage. So today's all about it. It's all about the mystery and the mastery at the same time. And let me tell you, there's a lot of mystery going on. Um, speaking of mystery, Jeannie, lately, I know you know this, and Adam knows this, that I was at a church actually doing the sermon, which showed up in the mystery. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. Last time I spoke at a church was about 5 years ago. And I kind of like poked the bear a little bit, but it was awesome. And in this group, I felt a lot more like what I'm going to say is just going to be super well received. But I was talking about the mystery of this time of year. First of all, religiously speaking, Christianity, we're heading into Advent. Advent is about going into the dark and not knowing what's going on. It's like the advent of something new. It's like the beginning of something new. Of course, the newness is the birth of the dude that represents unconditional love and forgiveness. So that's a pretty cool thing to be in the advent of. But again, we don't even know what that dude is going to do at that point in the world. And then we've got the mystery of folding up one year and leaning into another year, and the mystery of that, and not knowing, you know, what this year birthed, although we're going to actually explore that a little bit. So, I would love to hear from you guys. Where are you in the world and what is your word? This is a time of year that's all about the mystery. It's even the time when we come up to in the northern hemisphere, we're coming into the time when the darkest days of the year are going to be. And for the southern hemisphere, it's when they start to lead into the darkest days of the year. So the interesting thing is it's all about the perception of the light. So Jeannie, I'm curious about you. Like I went into the mystery of that presentation and I had to talk about a couple of things. I didn't have to, but I chose to talk about a couple of things in my life that are really in the mystery. Like, you know, um, in certain relationships. Like, I'm with my whoever I'm with is unfolding the mystery of who we're becoming. Like, I have no idea. My relationship with the company, it's like we're rebirthing a whole bunch of stuff. And I'd love to hear from everybody else. There's also this energy of clearing out the clutter so that like the cloggedness that causes the darkness, right? And then the other thing that I talked about is, somebody that I love dearly has just been diagnosed with cancer, and again, and it's like, oh man, and the mystery of that journey as well. So I'm looking from everybody in the comments to see what are the mysteries that are happening right now. Where are the places where you might be trying to control, but actually, if you let go, are you willing to be open to receive? I'm wondering that. Just think about that right now. You can type it into the comments, but let's make this a really practical journey. Jeannie, what about you about the mystery? How are you relating to this time of year and the mastering of the mystery? Because let me just make sure everyone who's here gets very clear. What we're going to go into is, what does mastery of the mystery actually mean? What really is the mystery? And why is it so important for 2026? And how is life going to be very different? What are the benefits of mastering the mystery so deeply? And then we're going to give some tools as to how to live that way. So, what about you, Jeannie?
I'm not sure if I keep because you're freezing on me, so hopefully I am not freezing on you.
A little tiny bit, but not bad.
So things definitely shifted when we got back from Costa Rica, and for me, I what it was I watched being in Costa Rica with you and these amazing people. I watched myself being completely stripped of the good girl, the good mom, the good wife, the good manager costume. And I watched also my nervous system completely being softened because I realized nothing was pulling at me. And another thing was my creativity completely came back, not because I was trying, but because I realized I was unhooked by everything. And from there, what I recognized, what nothing magical happened there that wasn't available here at home. And what changed was my relationship with not knowing and not needing to have it all handled while being in the unknown. So since coming back, I'm watching, wow, it's not about having to figure it all out. It's not about having to get it right. It's not about being afraid to get it wrong. It's just about staying available to life as it unfolds. And, it's how to dance with it all. It's funny, this morning when you and I had our meeting, I just wasn't feeling the greatest. I just felt like I was getting a cold. I was feeling congested, and you could feel me. It's just like, Jeannie, why don't you go, go take a nap, go rest, go lie down. Life is, ask your body what it's asking for. And it's funny, I was I was fighting it. I'm like, no, you can't tell me what to do, and my body can't tell me what to do. But I did take a walk. I did go outside, and it's just funny how mine kind of takes score, and starts hedging its bets, because I'm thinking to myself, I have brunch this weekend with the ladies, and I want to go shopping. I want to go see my parents. And I've already set myself up to fail. I've started hedging my bets that it's not going to happen because I feel crap right now. But the mystery of it all is, wait a second, my body is telling me, take 5. And to be able to share that, like you and I had shared that with this morning, it's like, Jeannie, chillax. It's all good. And that for me is just, the honoring what feels good right now. What is presenting.
And it's letting what wants to actually serve you show up in the taking that time for yourself. So with no judgments whatsoever. It's just taking. So listen, Okay, so let me just explain some stuff. Again, what we're going to go through today is why is the mystery and the concept of that so incredibly important for 2026, like in a huge way. And what are the benefits of that? And then how can we harness it once we know why the mystery is so important? And as Jeannie was so eloquently saying, it's like the mystery, the benefits of living in the mystery, or even talking about what even is the mystery. The mystery is like letting your mind be in a place where you don't know, but it's not letting your mind be in a place where you don't know from the place of, oh, I don't care. Or I don't even care about stuff. It doesn't even matter. It's not about not mattering. It's about your life mattering so much that you're more interested, and this is the piece that's juicy, that you're actually more interested. We can hear you, Jeannie. So that you're
Absolutely.
actually more interested in, um, ooh, lost my track. I'm more interested in making sure that um, I'm connected to the quantum field where the resources of all that is are working things out. That's what the mystery is. It's literally stopping, it's really transcending needing your amygdala, the part of you that's afraid, trying to micromanage everything to try to figure out what the answers are so that your brain can feel safe or in control or like life is predictable. That's what living in the mystery is. You have to be willing to understand that you have the capacity of 75 trillion cells all connected to infinite wisdom. And those 75 trillion cells connected to infinite wisdom are basically building a bridge to transcendent answers, like answers that you would never even understand. That's what it's like literally making miracles your new normal. So first you have to be even interested in having transcendent results be your new normal. It's like me ending up at the Oprah show when I've been trying for months and then I gave up and all of a sudden these ways that the tickets showed up and then I ended up in Oprah's store with nobody else there because I ended up with an interview with one of the producers of Oprah and then I ended up teaching the entire staff of Oprah's store about quantum physics wearing Oprah's clothes cuz her clothes were exactly my size. Even her shoes. I still have them. I should have brought them up here to show everybody. But that only could have happened. I didn't intend any of those things. This is so beyond intention. Like when you're going direct with consciousness, it just transcends what you intend. Most of the time, we're only intending to keep ourselves safe or in control or to fix something or to make it better. So, meh. So living in the mystery is really making miracles your new normal. But in order to make miracles your new normal, by definition, a miracle is something you don't even know could happen. And that means that you can have an intention if you want, you can have goals if you want, but it's really getting to a place of expectation of what transcends that. And we'll talk in a minute about how to actually get there, how to actually live there. But Jeannie, yeah, you like I think to myself all the times I've had expectations that weren't, I just wanted to get my bank account to a certain place, you know what I mean?
But
And
isn't it funny, especially in these times where there's just a lot going on. There was some major solar storms. I know I felt it in my body, and for me, what I recognize, well, at least what my ego goes through is that when it feels discombobulated, when it feels overwhelmed, it's like it needs to know that it's going to be safe. And of course, the last thing on my mind is, everything's going to be okay. That I know that's totally my ego and
yeah,
my identity, right? It's
yeah,
just like wanting to protect.
yeah. And we're back to the amygdala again. And here's the crazy part. When you are like Well, okay, take solar storms, for instance. We had M8 class solar flares this week. And this is not a woo woo thing. It's actually a scientific thing. We're electromagnetic beings. NASA doesn't do anything important when there are solar flares that powerful because it affects the electronics, it affects all sorts of stuff. But we're electromagnetic beings, so it affects us too. So maybe some of you are feeling this whole thing of you like maybe your sleep was off or you didn't have enough energy. For me, I woke up on Tuesday, which is when it started, with like I was a little bit reactive and a little bit off. I'd love to hear from you guys how you felt during those flares to see if it actually affected you. But when you don't know that and then you feel all those ways, it's amazing how much the sense of I want to be in control is strong because you don't know where it came from. You don't know why you feel this weird way when there are solar flares so strong for 3 days straight. And there's a little bit of anxiety. There's a little bit of, it didn't happen to everybody. Some people were just in this completely expansive receptive state and it didn't have an effect at all. But for people that had any restriction, my God, it was something else. And then what happens is we try to grab on to control and I want to talk a little bit, Jeannie, about what you and I do. And in case you didn't know, Jeannie is not only my bestie, but Jeannie has been on this journey with me. We've gone through different amazing teachers and guides together. We've studied at the same time and kind of like complemented each other's journey. We've gone through interesting relationship stuff side by side. And we watched our clients expand into a whole other realm of possibility. And we developed a program called Flight School for a year. I mean, there is a knowing of each other and the fact, how blessed are we because we have been diving into the mystery even of our friendship. And there have been times where it's like we thought we were going to not hang out very much together anymore just because the paths were diverging, right? And that
Yep.
was a mystery. And the only way through those times, which killed me, they were so awful to me, because I'm like, no, the only way through was to literally not control it and not know. And of course, these very non-linear things happened with my ex-husband's now wife, who you were going to go work for. All this stuff happened, and it could never have happened unless both of us just let it unfold the way that consciousness wanted it to. It was pretty miraculous, don't you think?
It's pretty magical. It's like it is. That was truly being in the mystery of it all. It's what would
You-
do and what's in the highest and higher levels. Universe, just show us. I know you're always conspiring in our favor. Just like
Yep.
show me.
And it was poking my deepest fears. It was just poking my deepest fears of being alone and all this stuff. But I knew the only way through. I mean, it was such a powerful time of lessons about like I am a different person because of that time in our lives. But let's talk about what it takes. I'm just going to name 5 things that to me are what it takes to master having results that are miraculous, and I hope you guys are interested in miraculous results. You can put a yes in the comments if you are. If you're interested in not so much what your brain intended to keep you safe, but actually results that the entire resources of the universe just deliver to you on a platter. What are if you're more interested in the transcendent, the entire resource of the field of the universe is delivering something to you that's beyond your wildest imagination, just put yes in the chat. So here are 5 things that, I was just thinking before the show are quite essential. Um, the first thing is you got to have this sense of urgency that there's something more to life, right? There's got to be like a calling that you just don't want the same old, same old. The second thing is you got to be willing to relinquish control in some way. You just got to be brave enough to relinquish control. It doesn't mean Jeannie and I say, hey, relinquish control and boom, it's done. It's a magic bullet. No, there's stuff to get there, but you have to be willing to. The third thing is it takes the mastery of the path of understanding how physics works, of understanding how the universe works, so that you get that your frequency and your receptivity is more important than your intention, like light years more important. The fourth thing to live in the mystery and to be in the mastery of that is to really have a community that's doing the same so you're not all by yourself. And the last thing is flow, a sense of flow with respect to love and money and all those areas has to inspire you so much that you're willing to transcend any of your fears. And if your willingness is there for all of them, then, mastery is available. But what do you think, like to you, Jeannie, what are the benefits of living in the mastery of the mystery? Like why? What are the benefits?
Based on our journey together, to be able to be a witness to all the or betters, right? It's just, it's so worth it. It really is so worth it, because we don't know what we don't know. I don't know what I don't know, what's available when I truly get out of my own way. And when I am being in my presence, it's like you just collect so much evidence of what's possible. Like I can't even begin to share all the magic that has happened over the years, where, when I am staying completely neutral or even staying open, the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
so so many things unfold. The solutions are already there that I didn't even realize were already there. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
like, oh my God. Well, I'm just thinking on our Costa Rica trip, just the sunrises that happened, the dog that came around and hung out with us that never would have happened otherwise. I just talked about the Oprah thing that happened to me. Um, you know, you know, I befriended someone who's a very well-known leader way back when, and she started this program that changed my life like 25 years ago. Well, now she hired me as her coach. Like, when does that happen? What a full circle that is, right? Here I am. I just, I don't even the people that work on our staff, they just like these beautiful souls with such heartfelt, it's just, it's just amazing. So,
You know, it's really, you know what, Jen?
yeah.
It reminds me of even when I started with the Wide Awakening or the Vital
Mm,
You at that time, right?
yeah.
It was, I just had my twin boys. They were 3, 4 years old, and before that, I was in corporate communications, telecommunications for 10 years, and it just sort of like, okay, Jen, I just took your Get Out of Your Own Way course. I did the Science of Having It All course,
Yeah.
and then I could feel like I I remember sending you a message saying, "Hey, if you know somebody who's looking for some part-time work, because I'm not looking to go back corporate, let me know." And you said, "Hey, I'm kind of looking for someone." And for me to have, like, all of a sudden, of course, several other doors had presented, but this one was just the most unknown. And who would have ever thought that 15, 16, 17 years ago, I would be able to travel around the world with you and get a chance to meet the most amazing humans, and and be able to be a bridge for my family,
Yeah.
for my kids to be able to live their best lives and to pass on all these incredible tools. Never in a million years. Never.
So in a second, we're totally, Jeannie. In a second, we're going to talk about 3 things you can do to like start or take it to the next level. Whatever level you're comfortable with the mystery now, given all the benefits, it's like it's so to be able to have confidence in the unknown regardless is I just don't know what my life it would be an entirely different life. I would be trying to control oh my God, everything, everything. That's just how I lived. It comes up every once in a while, but man, the cost is so huge. So, for those of you that want to be able to transcend that control and actually have miracles become normals, on upcoming on the 18th, right? On the 18th of this month, we are having a conversation. It's free. It's a masterclass. It's absolutely free. It's free. Tell your friends, tell everybody at thewideawakening.com/flow masterclass about love, money, and purpose. And we're going to talk about for 2026 what it takes given the energies for 2026, and we'll actually talk about the evolution that's happening for next year so that you're really clear on what to prepare for. And we're going to move through a couple of exercises that are going to show you the physics of flow so deeply that it will make you will settle for nothing less than that amount of flow by the time we're finished that master class. And you'll have tools to be able to start to move yourself in a deeper direction of everyone feels that sense of urgency these days that there's something more for their life, and to be able to catch up to that without the sense of impatience or feeling concerned that you're off track or doubting yourself. That's what this is all about. So join us. It's free. Copy the link and tell a friend. As many people as can be there. This is about us all flourishing through 2026 rather than, kind of constantly being battered by the unexpected happening left, right, and center. It's about growing bigger than all of that. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. And yeah. And you too, Jeannie.
Can't wait.
So let's do 3 things, 3 very practical things that people can do in order to have themselves get I'm going to take a quantum leap and say fall in love with the mystery. Like, in other words, really transcend the need to ever control. But if you're already controlling stuff, these are steps to be able to open to something that's a little bit better. And I'm going to start with the first one, which is collect evidence. Get a journal and start collecting evidence. If it's an or better journal, it's like a transcendent journal. It's like start collecting evidence every night for the results that you get that are beyond what you expected, right? That are beyond what you expected. Start collecting the evidence. And we do something every morning, and Jeannie is a master of it. And I would love for you to do it now because it's number 2. Number 2 is something that actually Jeannie for a long time was putting these into our community pages, and they're called future activations. But let me tell you what they are. Basically, you talk about your day every morning like your day is already done. I do this with my one-on-one clients. I have WhatsApp groups, and I send them a future activation every stinking day or something inspiring, but mostly future activations. So you talk about the day like it's already done, and your body can't tell the difference whether you actually had that day or whether the day is in the future. Because when you talk about it like it's done, your biology actually catches up to this amazing day that you had, so that your frequency gets raised to a day that feels at least that good. And you always finish future activations with or better. But do you want to do a future activation for this weekend, Jeannie?
Totally, totally.
Okay,
Actually,
let's do it.
I wrote one this morning. So today and this weekend was a really, really great day. My ego was quiet. My heart was full from witnessing all the gifts today had to offer. I felt clear and rejuvenating after having such a deep healing sleep, and I showed up with all of me today. I was surprised and delighted at the amazing conversations I had, and was even more surprised at what came through me as a result. I disconnected from the mind's perceptive chaos of all the have tos and shoulds, and found myself even more in flow, and spaciousness just presented divine doors to the solutions I've been seeking. And I was present, bigger picture, and my only job was to show up with all of me. And I did just that. I was connected to the wisdom available when I carried nothing, and it felt so good not to have it all figured out, because the universe totally had my back, or better.
That's what I'm talking about, people. So that's the second thing. Every morning to reset your biology to a different future. Now, I got to tell you that it's life changing. We're going to talk about an evolution on future activations in that program that we're doing on the 18th, the flow program. And we have one more action step to do. In order to get yourself to the place where the mystery, see, because when you do a future activation, it's not a vision board. It's not that we're attached to the outcome that Jeannie just declared. It's that we're catching up to how it feels to actually live that day and get our biology caught up to how it feels to live that day. It's like you're writing a movie in your mind as if it already happened. And then because how you feel changes, the frequencies you give off and your magnetics, remember we're electromagnetic, the magnetics you give off actually become more uh, receptive to higher frequency outcomes. So you don't judge what does happen, but you make sure you set your frequency every morning by doing an amazing future activation. So the other thing I want to say is that in our flow workshop, which our producer, Adam, put it into the comments, our flow workshop is actually also going to have a future activation for the solstice, because it's a few days before the winter solstice, where we're in that mystery of the darkest day, where the greatest things can be birthed. Like, the baby who represented unconditional love and forgiveness. Okay, so last tool. So the last exercise in order to get yourself to the place of miracles becoming normals, or the mystery starting to be something that you fall in love with, not just something that you like hope for. Okay, like the or betters aren't just something that you hope for. So the last one is to, if you have any vision boards or any goals, write down, let's say 10 or 11 of them. And at the end of all the goals, or on your vision board, across the top of all the pictures on your vision board, or underneath or beside each of those goal statements, write the words or better. Just write the words or better. Put it right over top of your entire vision board, or better. And when you look at that vision board, let yourself be activated to that you're interested to something even better than what the results that you wrote down on the vision board are. Because the mystery is not the intentions you put on the vision board. The mystery is not what you already know. The mystery is what the universe got catalyzed to, because you created that vision board, the universe was already working on or betters. So, so Jeannie, any final words for you as we move into this, time of a new year where we're actually going into the mystery, which we're going to try to not try to, we actually are going to diffuse some of the mystery of 26 in our class, but it's like these are mysterious times. We have AI and blockchain and all sorts of stuff. It's like everything is moving so fast. Holding on and trying to be in control is going to get us into trouble.
Yes.
So, what kind of comes up for you in your final words for our show today?
I'm just firstly, I'm just so grateful to be on this journey with you and Adam and our amazing team at TWA. Just so grateful. And what comes up for me too right now is, you know, when I don't know what's next, it's like I just ask my body one question, and what would feel like a tiny yes right now, and also what would love do, what would love do for this situation, what would love do for me, what would love do for that person, and be open to it. It's just, it could be a walk, it could be a tea, it could be taking five, it could be having a conversation. Don't be alone. Like, we're here, you're not alone, and just so incredibly grateful to be on this journey with you.
Thanks, Jeannie. And for everybody, we are going to take this show every 2 weeks, but we're going to go a little bit longer. And sometimes we're going to have some guests. So I wanted you to know that we're going to, after the new year, we're going to join you again on January 2nd. So we'll see you on the show on January 2nd. Excited to see you there. And put it on your calendar, same bat time, same bat channel. Other thing is follow us, whatever place you're watching us from. Make sure you follow us and you like what we're up to, and make some comments. We love that. We read all of them. And finally, have the most blessed and amazing time in this new year. We are specifically, we know it's a big deal. We know this was a huge year. We know the intensity. We've been living it ourselves, and we know there's a big year coming. And we'll be announcing soon a program so that we can all flourish into 2026. But in the meantime, join the masterclass, and we'll see you there. Lots of love, everybody. Have a thriving life.